Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss about chapter 3 synthetic materials. Before we start, first of all just go through the topics which we cover from this chapter, that is what are polymers, synthetic fibers, properties of synthetic fibers, then what are the disadvantages of synthetic materials which we are using, then what are plastics, what are the properties of plastics, what are the different uses of plastic, and the threat of plastic to the environment, means what harm does the plastic cause to the environment. Now see here, look at your clothes, whatever the clothes we wear, can you name the type of the fabrics they are made up of? The fabric, that means our cloth is made up of cotton, then silk, that means our cloth is made up of plants or animal products. So these products which we get from the plants and animals, or the fiber, the fabric which we get from plants and animals, they are called as natural fibers. Vegetable fibers, they are obtained from natural source such as cotton, jute and flax plants. Animal fibers are obtained from animal sources like sheep and silkworm. So there are other types of fibers which are prepared by the artificially, means by using the chemicals, and these fibers which are formed by the use of chemicals, they are called as synthetic fibers. So synthetic fibers are man-made fibers. They are man-made fibers and synthesized in the laboratory with the help of chemicals. These are called as synthetic polymers. These synthetic fibers which are made from the chemicals, they are called as synthetic polymers. Now we discuss about the polymers. Polymers are the chain. Synthetic fiber is what? It is a chain of many small units joined together. As you can see the diagram over here, this is a single unit. We call it as monomer. Single unit is called as monomer, and when many monomer they are joined together, then they form a polymer. This is the chemical fiber. Okay, so synthetic fiber has a chain of many small units joined together, and these small units are called as monomer, and the chain which is formed, that is called as polymer. So polymers are the large molecule consist of large number of small molecules, that is monomers. So polymers are the chain of monomers, and the process of linking, that means joining of one monomer with the other monomer to form long polymer, that process is called as polymerization. Now the word poly here means many, and merization or mer means repeating. So different many repeating units are there in polymerization. For example, we have polyethylene or polyethylene. This is a polymer which is used to make the carry bags. We all use polythenes. Now see the diagram over here, the activity here, beads are there, different beads, they are joined together to form a long chain, and over here different paper clips, they are joined with each other to form a long chain. So these are, in this way we can understand that one bead is the monomer, and many monomers they join together to form the polymer. In the same way, one paper clip is the monomer, and many paper clips they join to form the polymer. Now here the polymers, there are two types of polymers. One is the natural polymer and the other one are the man-made or synthetic polymers. Polymers, natural polymers, for example cellulose. Cellulose is what? It is the plant product. It is wood pulp. Silk, wool, proteins, these all are natural polymers. And synthetic polymers or man-made polymers are the artificial polymers which are made by the man from the chemicals. For example, rayon, nylon, polythene, Teflon, these all are synthetic polymers. Now most synthetic polymers, they are strong, light in weight. These are the properties of the synthetic polymer, that is they are strong, light in weight and long lasting. That means they last for longer period. They does not disintegrate easily, they does not destroy easily. They remain for longer time. For example, you know that polythene does not disintegrate. That means it is not degraded by the microorganism. It remain as it is for many years. Whereas if we talk about the plant products, microorganism acts on the plant products and it is degraded soon. So polymers are what? They are not acted upon by the microorganisms. And artificial or synthetic polymers, they are used for making fabric, pipes, bucket, glasses and packaging material. Now next is synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers, you know that different like nylon, rayon, these are the synthetic fibers, okay, which are made from the chemicals. Now first we will discuss about the synthetic fibers. Synthetic fibers is the nylon, rayon and polyester. Okay, so now first we'll just take a brief look over here. Nylon is what? It is prepared chemically without using any raw material from plants or animal. That means no plant or animal product is used, only chemicals are used to form the nylon. And this nylon is prepared by using coal, that is carbon, water and air, and this form the polymer of polyamide molecule. Nylon is a polymer of polyamide molecule. Now we'll discuss about the properties of nylon. Nylon has high tensile strength. That means its strength is more. It can hold more weight. Okay, and it resistance to breakage, that it cannot easily break. It is elastic and flexible. It is durable because it will remain for long. Okay, so we say that it is durable and it resists wear. Resist wear means it can be used for the longer time. It does not tear it. Okay, as the cotton clothes gets damaged, in the same way this nylon does not get damaged or does and remain over for a longer period of time. It absorbs very less water and dries up very fast. So unlike cotton, when we wear cotton clothes, it takes more time to get dry, whereas these nylon cloths, they absorb very less water and they dries up early. So nylon is a wrinkle free, so it is easy to maintain. So when wrinkles are not there, we don't have to do the ironing. Okay, we don't have to do the ironing because there are no wrinkles. Whereas when we talk about the natural fibers get crumpled and we have to iron them, then only we can wear them. Now it is not easily attacked by the moth or mildew, means microorganisms, moths, they does not attack the synthetic or the nylon. It is good to look at. It is shiny and its color lasts forever. Color does not get fade. Then uses of nylon. Nylon is used in the textile industries. Then it is used in making parachute, ropes, fishing nets. It is used to make toothbrush bristles, combs, and it is used to make several machine parts such as pulleys and washers. Next we talk about the rayon. Second artificial or synthetic fiber is rayon. Rayon is called as artificial silk because it has a shine. It is like silk, and when we feel and we touch, the texture and the appearance is of rayon is just like a silk. It is cheaper than the silk and can be woven just like the silk fibers. So that's why we call it as an artificial silk. It is obtained from the pure cotton, that is the natural source, and then it is processed with the chemicals to obtain the final product, that is rayon. So that's why it is called as generated or regenerated fiber. Rayon is called as regenerated fiber or processed fiber. Now the next is the properties of rayon. Rayon is made up of, rayon is what? It is soft, smooth, cool, comfortable and highly absorbent, just like the cotton. It do not trap body heat. That means it absorbs the heat. It does not, it makes the body to cool. Okay, so without, it does not trap the heat, so it makes the body cool. during the humid climates, and it is comfortable to wear, just similar as the natural fibers. Now next we talk about the uses of rayon. Rayon is widely used for making the dress materials and clothes because it is shiny in appearance and comfortable to wear. So dress materials are made. It is used for making home furnishing like blankets, bed sheets and curtains, and is used to make waterproof bandage to cover the wounds. So next, third one is the third artificial or the synthetic fiber is polyester. Polyester is completely synthetic fiber. It is made from the petroleum products, and it contains large number of esters. Ester is the molecule, that is the monomer of chemical ester. So that's why it is called as polyester. Many ester are there. For many we use poly, so polyester. It does not absorb water. Polyester does not absorb water, and examples like terylene, Dacron, terene, these are some example of polyester. Terylene is a polyester fiber which is mixed with the cotton, and then it is formed called as terrycot. When terylene is mixed with cotton, then another synthetic fiber that is formed, that is terrycot. And when it is mixed with wool, then it is called as terry wool. So blended fibers, they are more comfortable than the synthetic fibers. When synthetic fibers, they are mixed with the natural fibers, then we call it as blended fibers. And these blended fibers, they are comfortable than the synthetic fibers. Now we'll discuss about the properties of polyester. Polyester is very strong fiber. Then clothes are durable. Polyester is easy to maintain. It is wrinkle free, resist wear and tear. It does not easily wear or tear. Then it is light in weight and is elastic. Polyester is used for making shirts, trousers, saris and other dress material. It is used for making sail of the boats, and the hollow polyester fibers, they trap the heat and they are used to make the jackets. In industries, polyester is used to make bottles, utensils, wires, films and many other useful products. Then polyester is used to make the bottles and jars also. Now here we'll discuss about the different characteristics of the synthetic fibers, that is rayon. Rayon resembles like a silk in appearance and texture, absorbs moisture and is used for making the dress materials like linen, carpet. Then nylon is there, is completely synthetic. It is flexible, lightweight, lustrous, easy to wash, and it is used for making clothes, robes, socks and parachutes. The next one is polyester. Polyester is wrinkle free, lightweight and elastic, whereas it is mixed with natural fibers like wool, silk and cotton to make the fabrics. Next we talk about the properties of synthetic fibers. Already we have discussed about the synthetic fibers. Now one by one we'll discuss about the properties. First property is strength. Strength means strong. The synthetic fibers, they are very strong, and it is the most important property of synthetic fiber like nylon, polyester. They are more strength. They have more strength and can hold more weight. That means they cannot be easily broken. Second property is elasticity. That means stretchability. They are highly elastic and can be stretched to comparatively large extent, and afterwards they retain to their original shape. Then comes water absorption. They does not absorb water. Synthetic fibers, they does not absorb water, and when we say that they are washed, then they absorb little water and gets dried easily. So they does not have the wrinkles or on them. They are wrinkle free and does not require ironing. Next is the third property is wrinkle resistance. This we have discussed. Then moth resistance. Synthetic fibers are not attacked by the moths because they are made up of chemical, and moths used to attack only on the plant products, not on the chemicals. So here these are synthetic fibers are moth resistance. Then is inflammability. Like synthetic fibers like nylon and polyester, they are inflammable, that they catch fire easily. They catch fire easily. That's why it is said that during uh, Diwali or burning crackers or working in the kitchen, the one should not wear the synthetic clothes because synthetic clothes catches fire easily, and this, when burned, they stick to the skin, so and causes severe burns. Now next we'll discuss about the disadvantages of synthetic material, that they are non-biodegradable. They are not acted upon by the microorganisms, so they remain as it is and causes pollution. Next is synthetic fibers do not absorb water. Therefore in summer they are not comfortable to wear. They are uncomfortable and they do not absorb the sweat also. So these fibers like nylon and polyester, when they are blended with cotton, okay, so this blended with cotton, it forms terracotta, then this is easy or comfortable to wear. Next is the synthetic polymer. They burn very easily because they melt they does not require very high temperature. So when they get the heat, at that time they melt. And it is dangerous to wear synthetic fibers near the source of the fire, because if the cloth catches fire, it sticks to the skin and causes deep burns. Next is synthetic fiber can cause skin problems because it is uncomfortable, so it may causes rashes or allergies also, as it is made up of chemicals. Next we talk about is plastic. Plastics are what? In our daily life we are using different products of plastics like bucket, tap, then these are plastic pipes, then toys. Okay, so these all things, they all are made up of plastics, and plastics are made up of chemicals. So if we look around, we find that the number of the things are made up of plastics, and even these plastics, they are what? They are the synthetic polymers, and these synthetic polymers, they are of two types, thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. Thermoplastics are those plastics which when heated again and again, they can be allowed to change their shape. When we heat these thermoplastics again and again, when they are broken, then we heat it. We send in the industries, factories where they are heated, and then they come out with a new shape. So these plastics on heating can be made to change their shape, size and all. That means on heating they become soft, and on cooling they become hard again. So these are the thermoplastics. Second type of plastics are thermosetting plastic. Thermosetting plastics are those the explanation comes from the word only, thermosetting. That means once with the help of heat, these are set to one size or structure, but after that when we give more heat or we try to melt it, and then these plastics does not change their shape. That means their shape cannot be changed once set. When once their shape is set, and afterwards how much heat we apply, the shape does not changes. They retain their shape and size even at very high temperature. So all types of plastics have one common property, that is they are made up of polymers. And these polymers these are plastics. Petroleum, and petroleum is what? It is the crude oil, that is the raw oil which is extracted from the deep under the earth crust, and it is the mixture of many carbon compounds. Petroleum is a mixture of many carbon compounds, and these carbon compounds, they are separated by the process that we call as fractional distillation. When the fractional distillation of the petroleum is done, then different carbon compounds are extracted from the raw petrol, that is petroleum. We don't call it as petrol, we call it as petroleum, means the fuel which has been extracted from the earth, from deep inside the earth, that is called as petroleum. It is the raw petrol from which many components, many carbon compounds are extracted, and that process through which the components, carbon compounds are extracted is called as the fractional distillation. So the compounds which is extracted from the petroleum are benzene, ethene, propene and many more. Now what are the properties of plastic? We'll discuss over here. We used to make the different compound, different structures, different things out of plastics. Now what are the properties of plastics? First is plastic is what? It is a poor conductor of electricity and heat. It does not pass heat and electricity through it. That's why it acts as a insulator. We use this plastic as an insulator. Next is plastics are lightweight. So the articles which are made up of plastics, they are easy to carry due to their lighter weight. Next is durability. Durability means long lasting. Plastic is more durable because of its tensile strength and toughness. It can withstand lot of force, means it can hold lot of force and pressure without breaking as compared to the natural fibers. Next is corrosion resistant, that it does not get corroded. That means it does not get degraded by air or moisture. As the metals gets rusted when they are exposed to air and moisture, but the plastic does not get rusted. So that we say that corrosion resistance is there, plastic does not corrode. Then chemical resistance, plastic does not react with acids and bases, and that's why we say that there is no effect of these chemicals on plastic. So these are non-reactive. Plastics are non-reactive with the chemicals. So that's why to store these chemicals we use the plastic in the laboratories. Now uses of plastic. Plastics have become an integral part of everyone's life. We are using many articles made up of plastic in our day-to-day life. So we have discussed about the thermosetting plastic and thermoplastic. So the thermosetting plastics, some uses of thermoplastic and thermosetting plastics are. First of all, we'll discuss about the thermoplastic, that these plastics, they get softened on heating. Thermoplastics are there, when we heat they become soft, and then they can be used again. That means recycle can be done, reuse, color changes, shape changes, and the type of use also changes. That okay. Now first we are talking is the thermoplastic, that is PVC. It is called as polyvinyl chloride. PVC full form is polyvinyl chloride, and it is used to as a building material. It is used as a building material for electronic items, computers, shoe soles, pipes and many other items. In this PVC, polyvinyl chloride is used, which is a thermosetting plastic. Second is Teflon. Teflon is a plastic which is scratch proof. It does not corrosion and resistant plastic. It does not corrode. Okay, and it provides protective covering to the materials. So that's why it is used in making non-stick fry pans, non-stick in utensils in the kitchen, as well as coating on car also. It is there, protects the paint of the car. The third one is polyethylene. Polyethylene, what? It has wide range of inexpensive use. Already we are using polythene bags and all. So it is used to carry the liquid material like milk and other oil. They can be easily stored through these polythenes. Next is the fourth one is polystyrene. Polystyrene is used to make the thermocol, disposable utensils, food containers, cover for CDs, cassettes. Okay, and to insulate the refrigerator also. Next we talk about thermosetting. Already we have discussed the thermoplastic. Now thermosetting plastic. Thermosetting plastic are those plastics which once they get molded, they get the shape, and afterwards how much heat we provide, they cannot be melted. That means their shape cannot be changed again and again. Now example of thermosetting plastics is bakelite and melamine. Bakelite is used for making the switches, plugs, sockets and all electrical fitting items. And melamine is used for making unbreakable kitchenware like dinner sets, okay, bowls which we use in the kitchen. So melamine plastic is coated on the uniform of fireman. That means this makes the uniform fire resistant. Now plastic threat to the environment. How this plastic causes harm or disaster in the environment? Because plastic is non-biodegradable. Plastic is non-biodegradable. It does remain as it is and it does not acted upon by the microorganisms, so it causes pollution. So we just look a brief look over here. We take that careless thrown, it is carelessly thrown. So plastics is thrown with the food and the animals eat the food along with the plastic and the death of the animal occurs. When we burn the plastic material, air pollution occurs. When these polybags and plastic packaging materials, they are not disposed properly, they enter into the sewage and they block the sewage or the drainage system. Then plastic items, these block the soil pores, means in the soil they get deposited and it blocks the soil pores and does not allow the water to enter inside the underground water table, so causes soil pollution. Now the environment problems, these are caused by synthetic materials and it is so alarming that now we have to take a specific decision, specific step to reduce the pollution. So nowadays what is done, that to separate out the waste, two types of dustbins are used. One is green color and one is blue color. Green color dustbin is used for the disposal of biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste means like plant and animal products, okay, like fruit peels, okay, and this one vegetable peels, whatever it is, plant and animal product or the biodegradable product, they are disposed in the green color bins, and the other non-biodegradable substances like plastic, glass, these all are disposed in the blue colored bins. Synthetic materials, they are dumped in the blue colored bins, which can be sent to the factories for their recycle. Now here we have completed with the thorough revision of the chapter.